also making your home more comfortable. SRP's network of participating contractors can guide you from start to finish and maximize your savings by combining Inflation Reduction Act incentives with SRP rebates. Learn more at savewithsrp.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Before placing a bet in Arizona, make sure you are using a regulated gaming operator. It's simple. Visit gaming.az.gov/check-your-bet for a list of regulated operators in our state. Be on the lookout for unregulated platforms offering risk-free betting, high bonuses, or only accepting cryptocurrency. If you suspect illegal gaming operations, report it to us at gaming.az.gov/check-your-bet. Together, we can keep gaming safe and fair. Double check before you place your bet at gaming.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Gaming.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey guys, if you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medications absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Listen, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Get more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and a GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, we have the vehicles you want at affordable prices.
For instance, the sought-after 2025 Kia Sportage is available for $27,999, and with $2,000 down at 3.99% financing for 72 months, drive out with a payment of $475 a month. We have affordable options on all of our most popular Kias.
Now available at Mark Kia at the Scottsdale Auto Show. The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details. Offer only through Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires February 2nd, 2026.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
January 23rd, 2026. A Football Friday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Yes, made it to Conference Championship Friday here on the program. Don't you worry. We'll get you ready for those games. We'll look at this through the Cardinals lens today, who they should be rooting for, specifically in the NFC Championship game. Very high-stakes picks in hour number 2 of the show. A lot on the line. Producer Evan clinging on to a 1-point lead going into the final 2 weeks of the pick segment with the hot dog punishment looming over us both. We'll get to those here in hour number 2. But we start with an update. Feels like we do this every single day on the show as of late. The coaching cycle. Another domino yesterday fell, and there's a real strong case that this one was great for the Arizona Cardinals.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I think we all agree that of the 10 openings that existed in this year's cycle, there were 3 that stood out. Buffalo stood out because you get to work with Josh Allen. You've got a team that's tailor-made to go to the postseason, make a run in the AFC. They're just trying to get over that mountain and make it to the Super Bowl. Baltimore, same thing. You get to work with Lamar Jackson. And as long as he stays healthy, you're going to have a really good chance to make noise in the AFC. And then Pittsburgh, just because they're an institution in the sport of football. They are the NFL in so many ways. The stability, just the support that you get from the organization, from the fan base, just a model organization to work for. Those are the three that stand out. Well, one of those big three fell yesterday. It is being widely reported now that Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter is going to pack his bags and he's going to return home, place that he called home, being the defensive coordinator there for a pretty long time. It's going back to Baltimore, this time as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So Jesse Minter going to take one of these gigs. He's going to go to Baltimore, and that job gets crossed off. And I got to tell you, if you are an Arizona Cardinals fan and you're listening to this program, this is news you get excited about. This is a domino falling that points to what we talked about yesterday about being patient, about outlasting everybody else, because it's being reported that one of the reasons that the Ravens acted so quickly to hire Minter, to put pen to paper and get him as their next head coach, is they were worried about the looming Raiders, that the Raiders were lurking in pursuit of Jesse Minter, and they didn't want to lose out on Minter and be left wondering who else is out there that fits what we want in our next head coach. And it was just yesterday here on this program that we told you the Cardinals are operating on a different timeline than a lot of the other teams in this cycle. And the one advantage that the Cardinals you can squint and find in this coaching search was the Cardinals could afford to be patient. They could use the fact that they are considered one of, if not the worst opening in this cycle to their advantage. And that advantage is if all these other jobs fill up while Mike LaFleur and Chris Shula and Clint Kubiak are still coaching, then the Cardinals could be one of the last jobs available when their seasons are done. And now all of a sudden, the Cardinals' job maybe looks a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more appetizing, because it may be the only one left. Patience. Outlast everybody else in this search. That was what we said yesterday could be an advantage that the Cardinals could deploy. And you have the Baltimore Ravens yesterday making a move, jumping at the opportunity to hire Jesse Minter because they didn't want the Raiders to beat them to him. Because the Raiders have the first overall pick. They have a ton of cap space. They can take their time. The Ravens, they got to move fast. John Harbaugh's been there forever. They haven't conducted searches for coaching staffs in a really long time. They don't want to be left with a downgrade at coach, a downgrade on their coaching staff, and feeling like they made a mistake. We talk about windows in sports, and I think windows are sometimes a fallacy. I think windows are sometimes used as an excuse for why seasons fail, but we can all admit that Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, they're not going to have endless shots at this. So they couldn't afford to get to the end of the road here and be left wondering who's going to be our head coach. The Cardinals, considering it's the worst opening according to some, and considering some of the lead candidates, they can afford to wait. And if you have to hire Vance Joseph, or if you have to hire Matt Nagy, if you have to hire Arthur Smith, then so be it. But you can outlast everybody and hope that maybe Mike LaFleur is still out there. Hope that maybe Clint Kubiak's playing in the Super Bowl and Buffalo doesn't want to wait that long. Pittsburgh doesn't want to wait that long. That the Browns, after getting the Heisman from Jesse Minter, decide, hey, no one's going to interview for this gig. Let's just promote Jim Schwartz and call it a day. Then all of a sudden, 5 openings becomes 4. And then maybe the Raiders move to go get somebody. Then 4 becomes 3. And you see how very quickly the Buffalo Bills are interviewing Phillip Rivers today for their head coach opening. These things can move fast. So another domino falls, and mostly outside of Robert Saleh at Tennessee, all of these dominoes have lined up for the Cardinals to actually hit a home run here. Not just a single. We didn't lay down a bunt and beat it out to first base. A home run, knocking it out of the park. Mike LaFleur still available today with 5 openings. Clint Kubiak still available today with 5 openings. Chris Shula, still available with 5 openings. The 3 NFC West coordinators, outside of Robert Saleh, who took his gig already, are still on the board, and there's one less opening today. There's one less premium opening today. Buffalo looks like they might move fast in this regard. They might, if Denver loses on Sunday, make Davis Webb their coach. All of a sudden, 5 becomes 4, and now patience plays to your advantage. It plays in your favor. So I thought yesterday, and I like Jesse Minter as a candidate. He made my list when we put together our first list a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't one of my top choices, but I didn't think he would have been a bad choice for the Arizona Cardinals. But I saw that news yesterday, and I thought, man, a great day for the Arizona Cardinals. A great day for them in their coaching search. We've been biased on this program towards hiring an NFC West coordinator. That dream is still alive today, with half of these openings having been filled already. Half of them off the board. I expect Cleveland to promote Jim Schwartz to be the head coach. That's what that looks like it's trending towards. Now you're down to 4. It looks like Pittsburgh's going to make Mike McCarthy their next head coach in a couple of days. Now you're down to 3. Davis Webb, Phillip Rivers, Brian Dable look like they're the lead guys in Buffalo right now. Now you're down to 2. You and the Raiders. 2 jobs, 3 NFC West coordinators. You see how very quickly the Cardinals could actually be put in a great position in this coaching search. So Jesse Minter taking Baltimore was a great piece of news yesterday. And it was proof of what we laid out to you yesterday about why patience could ultimately play off. It's a risk. It's a gamble. I admit that. But I don't know how much of a risk it is, considering the Cardinals are viewed as the worst opening in this cycle. By waiting, they might look like an attractive job when it's all said and done. So I thought a great day yesterday for the Arizona Cardinals. We're halfway through this coaching search. A lot of the big name candidates that we've linked to them. I mean, right now as it stands, there's 5 openings left. We love the 3 NFC West coordinators, right? Producer Evan, we're all on board with the 3. With LaFleur, Shula, Kubiak, we would love any of those 3.
Correct.
I think we are starting to come around, hop on board the Anthony Campanelli train.
Correct.
That's 4 coaches that we love, that we think this would be great. There's only 5 openings left.
It becomes a numbers game.
Right.
And just numbers at this point, if you had told me a week ago with 3 jobs left with 5 jobs left, there were 3 guys we had on our original 5, one that we like that has kind of entered the conversation. And by the way, some of the bigger names still have not been hired.
And a week ago, we had just started adding Baltimore to the list. We had just added Pittsburgh to the list. We had just added Buffalo to the list, right? Those were late additions to this process. A week later, and all of a sudden, it's starting to look a little rosier for the Arizona Cardinals. We're not fully there yet. We're not. There is a world where all these other jobs are filled up by candidates that we love for the Cardinals. But I firmly believe Cleveland's having a tough time. Cleveland's having a real tough time getting people in the building. Jesse Minter told them thanks, but no thanks.
We are in a very different place today than we were a week ago when Robert Saleh took the Tennessee job.
And it's in the promo that runs about the lunch break. That was the only domino that's bothered me so far. Every other domino has fallen in a way that helps the Arizona Cardinals. John Harbaugh taking the Giants job, he was never coming here. Kevin Stefanski going to Atlanta, he was never coming here. Jeff Hafley, I liked him, didn't love him, going to Miami. Robert Saleh was my top choice, so that one hurt a little bit. But Minter going to Baltimore, it's just another name that gets crossed off the list, and it's more importantly, another opening that gets crossed off the list. And yes, now it becomes a numbers game. I think there are 4 candidates that we all really, really like, and there's 5 openings. You need one more to really fall your way. And honestly, I haven't really paid that much attention to Pittsburgh's search in particular, but I don't think I've heard LaFleur's name come up in Pittsburgh. I don't think I've heard Shula's name come up in Pittsburgh. I don't know if I've seen those 2 names linked to that gig. I've heard Kubiak linked to Buffalo. I've heard that that's somebody that they want to talk to. Now, they can't talk to him right now, but I know it's somebody they want to talk to.
And how about this? Like today in Buffalo, a name we could have never imagined entered the conversation, and reports are it's more real than anybody could have thought.
That being Phillip Rivers, who, yes, despite having zero head coaching experience,
High school.
Other than being a high school coach, he has zero coaching experience, zero NFL coaching experience. Is that better for you?
There you go.
He's going to interview for the Bills job today. And according to reports, it is a real endeavor on Buffalo's part. They interviewed Brian Daboll yesterday. You have to consider him as one of the favorites to land that job. Now, would I like Brian Daboll here in Arizona? Sure. I think his attitude, his demeanor, that's kind of been a big buzzword for us here on the show this week, would be good. But if he goes to Buffalo, I'm not going to cry over it because that's one less job. I think Cleveland's having a tough time hiring a coach. I think they're just going to promote from within. And then it looks like there's 3 openings and there's all these candidates that the Cardinals like. And then all of a sudden, I'm not worried about Vance Joseph getting this gig.
The more jobs that come off the list that aren't on the list of 15 names, it's better.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a hire happened, wasn't on the list.
Was Minter on there?
Minter was actually on there.
But again,
not.
There's a list within a list, right? You've interviewed 15. Of those 15, we've picked out a couple that we like. Minter wasn't on that list inside of a list. So I'm good. I'm happy with this news. This is a good thing for the Cardinals in this search, and this is another example. The Ravens rushed to get their guy because they were afraid of losing out on him. You don't have to be afraid because nobody is going to take your job with all these other jobs out there. So use this to your advantage. It may be the only thing you have to help you land a good candidate in this cycle. There was a worry there in the middle of, they're just going to end up with Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith or Vance Joseph. Maybe. Also, a name I haven't mentioned, haven't uttered him yet today. Sean McDermott's still out there.
And by the way, I know it feels backwards. Like we're sitting here saying their disadvantage has almost turned into their advantage. But look at what the Suns did. Nobody wanted this situation. They sat down. They took a look around the board. They interviewed everybody, narrowed it down, and said, okay, we found a guy that we think fits our culture, fits our team, fits our building. That's what the Cardinals need to do. Turn that into the advantage.
And, oh, by the way, one of the risks I outlined yesterday about you're behind in building out a coaching staff, right? Well, if you get Mike LaFleur, and that's apparently been the trendy name. Schefter name dropped LaFleur today on the Pat McAfee show when discussing the Cardinals opening. So that there may be some tea leaves starting to be read and formed around Mike LaFleur potentially taking this gig. I don't worry so much about needing to build out an offensive coaching staff because the guy at the top is an offensive guy. Now, yeah, you worry about the defensive side of things, but I think there's a lot of talent there. They'll be able to bring in somebody to work on that side of the ball. So I think this is starting to kind of turn a corner and could become where it's still a numbers game that doesn't benefit the Arizona Cardinals, but we're really close to it being something that does benefit the Arizona Cardinals. And yesterday moved us in that direction, moved us closer.
Knocking on the door now.
Knocking on the door of this all of a sudden becoming an advantage. And if you hire Raheem Morris or Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith or Vance Joseph, that may be a bad look on your part because this actually might have played right into your hands. I could understand hiring one of those retread head coaches if nobody else wanted to come here and all the other jobs were filled. But this is starting to get to a point where the numbers are going to be in your favor, and it's going to look really bad if you can't sell one of them on taking this gig. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on the KDUS AM 1060 app. And if you listen over there, we've got your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. They're going to have it all. Live performances, live broadcasts, behind-the-scenes access. There's going to be 100 baseball players there, food and drinks, gaming competitions, casino action. Going to be a great time. We've got your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic Wednesday, February 18th for listening on the app. So go over there, download the app, register, and start listening to enter to win a pair of those tickets. We got a lot to get to here today on the program. We got a look ahead, the Diamondbacks, some good news on that front. We got picks to make. We'll tell you which teams we think are better off winning for the Cardinals this week. But coming up next, it's the last game of this road trip tonight. Can the Phoenix Suns make it 4 in a row and finish this thing in style? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. Life can change in an instant. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can feel overwhelming. The pain, the stress, and the uncertainty of what comes next. You don't have to go through it alone. The attorneys at Sweet James understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact an accident can have. They're here to help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to under the law. When you call Sweet James, you're connecting with a team of attorneys experienced in handling serious injury cases. Their work is driven by preparation, advocacy, and a genuine commitment to helping clients seek accountability and justice. Every case is different, and outcomes depend on the specific facts involved. If you've been injured in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James for your free case review. They handle everything for you so you can focus on healing. That's the Sweet James advantage. Help available 24/7. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
My Chemical Romance. The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
What would you do if you could multiply your cash? Would you multiply your vacations? Multiply your relaxation? Or multiply your celebrations? With multiplier scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can multiply all the good things, like vacations, relaxation, and celebrations. Play multiplier scratchers for over $270 million in prizes and multiply your fun. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. One of the more bizarre sagas we've ever seen in the NFL has come to an end in San Francisco, where GM John Lynch says wide receiver Brandon Ayuk has played his last snap for the Niners. Pretty safe assumption given he stopped showing up to the facility to rehab his shredded knee, and he ghosted Kyle Shanahan. Yes, there were contract negotiations that were contentious and all sorts of trade rumors, but ultimately Ayuk got his bag. So what happened? Shanahan says he has no idea and he's never seen anything like it in 22 years of coaching. Now, to be fair, why don't we think about this from Ayuk's side? What could be his beef? All right, I thought about it. I've got no idea whatsoever. They gave him what he wanted. He played poorly. He shredded his knee. He went into operation shutdown mode, and he ghosted the franchise. Ghosted a team that was all heart in doing everything it possibly could to stay in the fight this season, while this dude did everything he could not to rejoin the fight. Somebody will bring him in, but I sure as hell wouldn't. I'm Jim Rome.
There is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. Just pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup to play. Download the Prize Picks app right now. Use my code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
The final real play at the game, the interception that you just talked about thrown by Beck. I mean, that was after an Indiana timeout. The coaching level, again, Indiana is taking a timeout to give coaching points. I'm giving credit to Signetti right now. What a job of out coaching or giving the right coaching points to his secondary, his corners. And I thought I was going to give Miami a chance to figure it out, but it was Indiana, that defense, that offense.
5 weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome back in. Lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan here with you today on the show. It doesn't feel that long ago, producer Evan, that we were previewing this road trip for the Phoenix Suns, that we were figuring out what would make a good road trip for this team. It doesn't feel like it was nearly 2 weeks ago that we started this journey, but tonight will be the conclusion of it. Tonight will be the last game of this 6-game road trip for Phoenix as they will take on Atlanta before coming home and having some home cooking for the next 5 games. A lot of home games coming up here for the Phoenix Suns. And tonight is a golden opportunity because after starting this road trip 0-2, we got worried. We panicked a little bit. Shame on us. We said, 4-2 can't happen now. We'll just take 3-3. We kind of moved the goalposts a little bit. We're like, hey, 3-3 road trip, that's fine. We'll take that. We should have believed in the Phoenix Suns. We should have believed in this team because they've rattled off 3 in a row. And now they go into Atlanta tonight, a team that is below 500. Yes, I understand. If you look at the standings, this is a play-in tournament team. They're only a play-in tournament team because they play in the Eastern Conference. Team's 4 games below 500. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They did win their last game against Memphis, but before that, it was 4 in a row that they had lost. The Suns are playing great basketball coming into this game, right? 3 in a row, winning both legs of a back-to-back, winning when you're not playing your best. They just got Jalen Green back. I mean, just from a momentum perspective, you feel like the Phoenix Suns should be able to finish this road trip off in style tonight, get to 4-2, A+ successful road trip, and then come home, enjoy that new value menu that Matt Ishbia tweeted about earlier today for the next 5 games.
Welcome to the taco and the ice cream sandwich to the value menu.
You can enjoy the value menu for the next 5 games at home and start to claw your way up the standings in the Western Conference. It's all there in front of them tonight. It's all there for them to be able to beat a so-so middle-of-the-road Atlanta team. Now, I do worry a little bit about looking ahead, looking past tonight's game, the road trip, the plane trip back home, 5 games at home, being able to sleep in your own bed and losing sight of tonight. But I say that, and I know Jordan Knott's going to have these guys ready and locked in and focused. And you know Jalen Green's going to want to continue to play at a high level for this team. Going to be a second game back. They had a couple of days off, so you feel like he's not going to be on a minutes restriction. You got through the back-to-back. It feels like it is all set up for this team tonight to finish this road trip off, to come back home riding a 4-game winning streak, which will have included wins over the Knicks, a good win against Philadelphia in which you didn't play well, and then taking care of business against another playoff team, play-in team in Atlanta. You will have 3 of your 4 wins on this road trip against playoff-bound teams, and you should have beaten Detroit, and you probably should have beaten Miami after you completed the comeback. So you'd feel great about this road trip.
You would feel great. And we talked about this Suns team having the opportunity to go 4-2. And you said it best, move the goalpost. Felt like we used to do that a lot for the D-backs.
Right? For sure.
Like,
last year, yeah.
On road trips, you're like, because you have 7-2 on this 9-game stretch, and then you'd be like, halfway through, you're like, 5-4, I would take it. I would take 5-4 on the road. But we did that for the Suns. And now we're sitting here saying, hey, no, we're fighting for what we had originally kind of set out to do. And tonight you play a Hawks team who, let's face it, yes, is in a play-in spot. Lost 4 of their last 5. And by the way, they're in a play-in spot because they did have Trae Young earlier in the year.
Not there anymore.
So he's gone.
Gone, see ya.
He's not there anymore. But to the flip side, Atlanta's been a house of horrors for the Suns. They have not won there in the last 12 years.
Yeah, specifically, it's been a house of horrors for Devin Booker because he's the only Sun that's been around long enough for this streak to really impact. But yeah, this has been a really bad place for them So there's some demons for the organization, for the franchise going into this game tonight. And I'm sure everybody involved, but Devin Booker in particular, would like to see those demons be erased, that house of horrors to be removed. And it would be great from that perspective, but it would also be great to come home riding a 4-game winning streak. And I panned over to the schedule where I write down all the W's with the
red Sharpie.
The W red Sharpie. They've had one other. This is their longest road trip of the season. These 6 games, the longest stretch that they've had so far. They had a 4-game road trip at the end of December. They went to New Orleans, took care of business in both of those New Orleans games. They went to Washington. They took care of business in Washington. And then if you remember, they had that bad game on New Year's Eve against Cleveland. They were just one of the worst games they've played all season. One of the few.
If not the worst. Since that first 5, probably the worst game they've played.
But they've been really good on the road this season. They had that 3-game losing streak at the start of the year. But since then, they've been pretty solid. They had a stretch. If you remember the beginning of December, they went to LA. They beat the Lakers. They lost in Houston, but then they bounced back by going to Minnesota and winning that game. Then they won 4 of 5 on the road. They beat New Orleans, beat Washington. They won in Memphis when they went to Memphis. I mean, they've been a really good road team this season. And they are showing it again here with an East Coast swing, playing some good teams, including the top couple of teams in the Eastern Conference. And they've got a chance tonight to make it a 4-game winning streak, close out this road trip 4-2, erase what has been a bad taste in this franchise's mouth for a really long time. I mean, I've been living here since 2012. That's 14 years. This losing streak in Atlanta is almost as long as I've been living here.
Yeah, I mean, since your first 2 years here, they have not won in Atlanta.
Since I graduated college and full-time lived here and didn't go back when the semester was over, I have not seen them win in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to do that tonight, and I'm sure that's going to be a little extra fuel. But you get excited for a game like this because they just played a C-plus effort and still won in Philadelphia. They've had a couple of days off. You're excited because it's another game for Jalen Green to reinsert himself into the lineup. The team's playing well. You sense an opportunity. They've been really good against below 500 teams this season. They seem to take care of business. And you can just put an exclamation point on this road trip by winning this game time.
How about this real quick? You have 5 games till the end of January, including tonight.
Yep.
5 games. You play Atlanta tonight, feels very winnable.
And then you have some familiar
Miami
faces coming in.
is a familiar face who you lost to on the road. I'm sure you would like to have a get back there.
There's going to be some revenge in the cards, hopefully, for that one.
You have Brooklyn,
who you should be able to
who you should be able to take care of. I'm sure there's going to be some a want to get back at Detroit, who you played down to the wire without Devin Booker.
Well, and remember, not to cut you off, but remember, one of Jordan Knott's calling cards this season is when he sees a team a second time, the Suns are way better prepared.
Other than the Rockets, that has been the case.
And so Miami, this will be the second time they've seen Miami. This will be the second time that they've seen Detroit, and it's in a very short span. So it's going to be a very quick turnaround for both sides. I would say advantage Jordan Knott to come home to be able to move the chess pieces on the chessboard and have a better game plan for Miami so that you're not down 17. Now, again, I think the Miami game had a lot to do with they could not shoot the ball early, and Miami was hitting from everywhere. And so if they have a more normal shooting night, I think the Suns are in the game. But I do expect a better game plan from Phoenix the next 2 times they see Miami and Detroit.
And the last one to finish out the month is at Cleveland. Again.
Home against Cleveland.
Sorry, home against Cleveland. Again, second time you've seen him, the other time you've seen him at Cleveland, where we said on New Year's Eve, felt like you played your worst game of the last few months. They go 4-5, and they go 4-1 in that stretch. Chris, do you know how many wins they're at?
I think I know what you're doing here. If they win 4 of those games, they will end the month of January at 31 wins. Cash your tickets. Suns over 30.5.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there. And oh, by the way, if they do that and they finish this month with 31 wins, they have 2.5 months to get what? 9 wins to beat last year's number, 8 wins to beat last year's number. That's it. 2.5 months. If they do what you just said, and it feels very reasonable and plausible for them to do that, they could be in a position to already be a better team than they were last year. Which, if you listen to this program in the summertime, we told you that this was going to happen. We said they're going to be better, mainly because it couldn't get much worse than last year's team, but because they're actually going to be a team this year, and that's going to help them. Now, I thought it was going to come in a flurry in the second half. I thought they were going to be one of those teams that was really bad for the first 2 months. They started to figure it out around Christmas, and then March and April, they just went on a tear and got hot late. I didn't expect this, but they've got a chance to finish this month already beating their win total in Vegas, and they will be much on their way to being a better team than last year. Be incredible. That's what's in front of them tonight to finish off this road trip. So very much looking forward to tonight. 5:30 start for the Phoenix Suns. 480-864-1060. Phone number for you to hop in, get involved with the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. When we come back, we've got a lot of time. We can spread out. We can get comfortable. We've only got 2 games to preview in the NFL look ahead. Somehow I still figure that we will blow past the regularly scheduled break. Somehow we'll find a way to talk about just these 2 games for 20 minutes. But that's what you have to look forward to on the other side of the break. Conference Championship edition of the NFL. Look ahead when we come back. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball continues over on KAZG at 1440.
This Saturday, join the Lady Sun Devils as they hit the road to take on Cincinnati. Head coach Molly Miller and her team know they have the skills they need in order to score another Big 12 win on the road. Join Jeff Mott on the call live from the Buckeye State. It's ASU versus Cincinnati this Saturday morning. Pregame at 9:30 a.m. and tip-off at 10 a.m. over on KAZG at 1440.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Indiana does it. They complete the season, a miracle season. Give credit to a lot of people here. Kurt Signetti, you got to start with him. This isn't the normal route to become a national champion. And he doesn't go after 5-star recruits or 4-star recruits because he couldn't. Because 5 stars and 4 stars aren't going to Indiana. He's the kind of guy that goes after 2 stars. And by the time he's done coaching them up, they're 4 and 5 stars.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. on KTUS AM 1060.
feeling nice and cozy here today on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert, producer Evan with you. It feels very roomy today for the NFL look ahead. We've got all this extra time today.
Throw your feet up.
Yeah. We did that
Wait
couple
until
weeks
next
ago.
week.
Oh, no, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We don't. NFL look ahead not happening next Friday. It will not be a football Friday next Friday.
You don't want to do the Pro Bowl?
Like I said, there will not be a football Friday next Friday here on the program. Don't know what we'll do. But okay. Before we talk too much and then ultimately run into the same problem that we run into every week, let's get to the conference championship edition of the NFL look ahead.
During the break, I was trying to find an intro, like the old NFL Films voice. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Playing for the Super Bowl. And couldn't find one that I thought fit all these games. So we're dealing without that. But they are playing for the Super Bowl.
They are.
For a chance to head to the biggest game in sports. It's the New England Patriots back in the AFC title game.
Like they never left.
They head to Denver. And I know what you're thinking. Brady Manning?
No.
May Nix in this AFC title game. No. May
that.
Stidham.
There you go.
Not Nix.
Sorry, Bo.
It's Bo, no. This time around, New England minus 4.5 on the road in Denver.
Oh, it's been a couple years for New England, but I'm already annoyed that they're back. I'm already annoyed.
It is so strange because it is it's a completely different team, right? Like
different coach,
across the board, other than one name.
They actually have a GM. Different quarterback. The roster's totally different.
Like they only have one person who has any lingering of the dynasty, and that's McDaniel.
Right. Other than Josh McDaniels, there's no. Vrabel, but
that doesn't really count.
Right. There's no connection to that past regime, and yet I'm still annoyed that they're back.
Yes, it's a fan base thing.
It's set up. The red carpet's being rolled out for the New England Patriots to go back to the Super Bowl, no?
Yes.
I know you're going on the road to take on Denver, but you're facing a Denver team that's starting a quarterback who has not taken a snap in a game in 2 years.
Yes.
Think about that for just a second. You lose this game. I don't care what his stat line is. The headline, the narrative, the takeaway. You lost to a quarterback that hasn't done anything in 2 seasons.
Yeah, when you look at the other quarterbacks that as a backup have gotten in and taken a team to a Super Bowl or an AFC championship, they've had weeks to prepare in the regular season. Like whether it be the last game or the last 3 games to get them ready to go. This is a quarterback who has started the least amount of games before starting a conference title game.
4. He's made 4 starts.
None of them in the last 2 years.
I hate to say it. You can't lose this game if you're New England.
You cannot lose this game. You have a lot to lose if you're the New England Patriots. But I do want to say this.
They're not losing?
Jarrett Stidham.
Stiddy.
I don't remember a quarterback battle, though. I did see that on Twitter the other day. It was like, I know there's confidence in Stidham from some people, but I do not remember a quarterback battle when Bo Nix showed up. And then I was like, that's very true.
It does feel like they're not going to alter their offense too much.
I don't think they have to.
I think they're just going to shrink the playbook.
Yeah. The one thing they did have a lot of success with in both games, just in the Buffalo game, but felt like kind of throughout the year, Bo moves a little. I don't know what Jarrett's mobility looks like.
You mean you don't know about his ability to escape the pocket because he hasn't played in 2 seasons?
Yes.
You mean you don't have a huge Rolodex of film to go back to?
I do not, no.
They showed a clip of him in Denver doing something. And it was Peyton calling. I don't know if it was a preseason game or what it was. I don't even remember it happening. So it had to have been a preseason game.
He did start 2 games in Denver.
With Peyton?
With Peyton.
So the year that they...
The Russ year
where it was, okay, we're done here. So that's 23.
The Stidham came in.
That's the last time he's played in the game.
Yes. And he started 2. They went 1-1.
you have to find a way to run the football.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be hard to do against New England's defense, but you have to find a way to run the football. They lose this game if Jarrett Stidham has to throw the ball more than 25 times.
Yeah, 100%. Now, in fairness, they could not have success running the football, and he could throw the ball less than 25 times, and they could win this game. Like, that's how good the defense is. But they need to be excellent next week. Because I got to be honest with you, a lot of talk about their defense. They weren't that great last week.
Dare I say they need to be almost perfect? Because I don't know if there's any margin for error for this defense. Because you have to gain an extra possession then. And even if you do gain the extra possession, you create a turnover when you're down a score, or you have a big special teams play.
It might not be enough.
Is Stidham always going to cash in? Like with Bo Nix, you feel pretty confident that more often than not, we would cash in on those types of opportunities. Can you feel that confident in Jarrett Stidham? If you create a turnover, it immediately turning into points? No, you can't. So you almost have to be perfect defensively.
And I got to tell you this. This is the game where I need Sean Payton to be pretty conservative.
No, you ready for this? This is the rare time I think it's okay. Win the coin toss, take the ball.
No, yeah, 100%.
Take the ball, go down
100%.
the field, go up 7-0.
Yeah.
I know you're home. Take the ball.
Yeah.
Take the ball.
You know, it would be great to get Stiddy really involved. How about do what Seattle did last week and return the opening kickoff?
Take the kickoff, score early, give your defense confidence of, okay, we're in this game. We're not going to have to do everything.
Can I ask a question though? Is there a risk if I don't score on that first series? No, because it gets way worse.
No, you trust your defense so much to be able to get the stop. Early in the game, I trust my defense to make up for that. So I'm taking the ball and I'm trying to
agree with you.
I'm trying to get the crowd into it. I'm trying to give myself an early lead. I'm trying to keep the defense motivated. I'm trying to get my quarterback confident. I'm doing it all. Win the toss, take the ball. If New England wins the toss, I hope they kick. I hope they kick.
By the way, this is going to be so funny.
When New England starts with the football?
No.
And they go down the field, they go up 7-0, game over?
Yeah, that's going to be very funny. But the fact that Sean Payton can't break out a surprise onside kick in this one.
He doesn't have that tool in the toolbox.
It's so funny. Sean Payton onside kicking his opening kickoff as a Bronco was the all-time most predictable moment in the history of football.
And you know that if he could surprise onside, this would be a game where you break it out.
You've never seen somebody relive their one moment of glory like Sean Payton does with the onside kick.
Let's see what he's got cooking up his sleeve for this game on Sunday.
In the later game, the NFC Championship, 2 NFC West teams for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams travel up to the Pacific Northwest and take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, 2.5-point favorites.
What is it? The unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
Yeah.
Rams offense, Seahawks defense. Get your popcorn ready. That's the battle to pay attention to. The Rams are one of, if not the best offenses in the sport. They've shown an ability to score on this team. What, they dropped 30 on them? Well, they lost 38-37 in their second meeting that they had, right?
Yeah, they've played 2 games this year, a total of a 3-point difference between the two teams.
Stafford in the 2 games, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been good in these games. He's been fine. Best offense, if not one of the best, against the best defense. And that I can say with certainty, it's the best defense in the sport. Who snaps? Who breaks?
In the first game, if you remember, Darnold was as bad as it comes. They lost the game by 2 because that defense was able to dominate the line of scrimmage, get pressure, and not cause turnovers, but really stop and limit big plays for LA. And if they can do that again, it just feels like they're going to be hard to beat. In the second game, LA had a huge offensive night using Puka Nacua quite a bit. I think that was almost his 200-yard game, wasn't it?
Might have been.
Yeah.
So you have... that's the battle to pay attention to. I mean, I am worried about Seattle's offense. It's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster. You know, how's Darnold? How's the oblique? Is he at 100%? All those things. The home crowd's going to play a factor into this. And then I wonder if there's momentum and confidence that's been built on the Rams side, going on the road to the cold, winning a playoff game on the road away from their building, because that narrative has been, circulating around them for years now. Now that they've cleared that hurdle, does it allow them to play more free, to play with more confidence? This is going to be a really good game.
And not that Darnold had to do virtually anything. in their first game, but does it build confidence just to get a playoff win under his belt,
Absolutely.
right? 12 of 17. He doesn't have many yards. I think he had like 120 yards and a touchdown, but didn't turn the ball over. So that builds a lot of confidence for him. So you have two teams rolling, feeling like they've built a lot of confidence. And just a little part of it, if I'm the Rams, Raheed Shaheed gets the Devin Hester treatment. I don't want anything to do with it. Kick it out of bounds.
We'll kick it out of the back of the end zone. Don't kick it out of bounds. But
you know what I meant.
Yes, do not allow them to have those big momentum plays, right? It's two teams that have all the reason to be confident, right? For Mike McDonald, it's a first playoff win. For Sam Darnold, it's a first playoff win. So now you don't have to worry about that. For the Rams, you won on the road already, so you probably feel more emboldened to be able to win this game on the road to pull off the upset. It's a great coaching battle. It's strength on strength. It's a third meeting in one season between these two teams. I mean, it is storybook the way this one sets up.
This game has a very different feel than the first one.
No doubt about it. 100% more excited for this game. And even if Bo Nix was healthy, I would be more excited for this game than the AFC Championship.
Certainly.
There you have it. The NFL look ahead for Conference Championship weekend, Conference Championship Sunday. We will make our picks in hour number 2 of the program. When we come back, were we reminded yesterday just how good the Diamondbacks can still be? I'll tell you why next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
NAU men's basketball continues right here on KDUS AM 1060. This Saturday night, join the Lumberjacks as they square off against Northern Colorado. Join head coach Shane Burkhardt and his team as they get ready to defend home court against the Bears. Mitch Stroman will have the call live. It's NAU versus Northern Colorado this Saturday night. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. and tip off at 6 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS app.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da? You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee? No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum. No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free. No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of another song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me. You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrap it up, hour number 1 here of the Friday edition of the Lunch Break, KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Chris Schubert, producer Evans on the other side of the glass. And I think it sometimes gets lost in an offseason, and you see what the Dodgers are doing, and you see what the Mets are doing. You see the Cubs making splashes. You see all this money getting thrown around, and you can kind of forget how good a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks actually is. Because I know there's some thoughts out there that this is going to be a sit-it-out kind of year for this team, that really 2027 is where things get back on track. But yesterday, I think we were given a reminder of why you shouldn't give up on the 2026 team just yet. They haven't even played games yet, so I think it's ridiculous to give up on a season before games are played, let alone a sport in which there's 162 of them. But I think yesterday we were reminded how good this team actually is. Have you been following MLB Network's top 100 players there, producer Evan?
I have not.
Keeping tabs on this, no? So they released their list of top 100 players right now in the sport. They finished off their list, I think it was last night. The Arizona Diamondbacks have 3 players inside the top 25 on the list. Not 3 players in the top 100 in the sport. 3 players in the top 25.
Let me ask you, this is incorporating injuries?
I mean, Corbin Burns isn't one of the 3, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Geraldo Perdomo, number 24. Ketel Marte, number 19. Corbin Carroll, number 9. By the way, do yourself a favor. I don't know if this argument made it on air, but you can peep the list and see where Corbin Carroll is compared to Kyle Tucker. Because we had that debate off air the other day about which player you'd rather have, Corbin Carroll or Kyle Tucker. You can check the list and get back to me on that. Pretty sure Corbin Carroll higher than Kyle Tucker on the list. I'm pretty sure. I don't actually remember. But 3 players inside the top 3 players inside the top 25 of MLB Network's top 100 players. Just a reminder that the Diamondbacks have something that not a whole lot of other teams have. There's not a lot of teams that have 3 players inside the top 25. Just so you know, these are the teams that had the most players in the top 100 overall. The Dodgers had 8. The Yankees had 6. The Red Sox had 5. The Phillies had 5. The Mariners had 5. That's in the top 100. The Diamondbacks had 3 in the top 25. And they're players at premium positions. You got one of the best outfielders, top 10 players in the sport. You have the best second baseman in the sport. And you have an up-and-coming rising star over at shortstop. That's what you have going into a season. And oh, by the way, you're going to get Corbin Burns back at some point. Oh, yeah, you have one of the best defensive players in the sport playing third base this season. You've got a young catcher in Gabby Moreno who's really good. You've got young players like Blaze Alexander, who you're going to give a lot of time and opportunity to next season. Don't give up on a year before it even starts. The Diamondbacks have a lot to believe in going into this season. 3 really good players at the top of their lineup. You want to throw Gabby Moreno in there? They've got a really solid core 4. And they've got a lot of young players coming up through that pipeline. Jordan Lawler, Tommy Troy, Ryan Waldschmidt. They've got a lot of guys that can contribute and help this team. Not just in 2027, but in 2026. How many teams do you think had 3 players inside the top 25?
Yeah, I'm going through it. I think there's probably inside the top 25.
Inside the top 25. How many you think had what the Diamondbacks have?
Yeah, so okay, so the Dodgers, obviously, the D-backs.
I'll pull up the whole list.
This is incorporating the offseason. So, yeah, so the Mets.
No, I think the Mets only had 2 in the top 25. Pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, I've got the full top 25 right now. So we got to do this because I have the names. We got to do this real quick. Because we're up against it. Shohei Ohtani is a Dodger.
Yeah.
The other Dodgers on this list are Yamamoto. That's 2. Mookie Betts is 3. Will Smith is 4. Kyle Tucker is 5. Freddie Freeman is 6. 6.
Yeah, I think it's just them and the Dodgers.
6 in the top 25. Aaron Judge is number 2. He's a Yankee. Are there any other Yankees on this list? No. Bobby Witt. Are there any other Royals?
No.
Cal Raleigh is number 4. Are there any other Mariners? Julio Rodriguez. That's 2.
Correct.
Jose Ramirez is 5. Are there any other Guardians on this list? Juan Soto is a Met. Are there any other Mets on this
Yes.
list? Lindor is there.
11, and that's it.
So that's 2. Paul Skeens. Are there any other Pirates? No.
Certainly not.
Tarek Skubal. Are there any other
No.
Tigers? Corbin Carroll, we just mentioned. Vladdy is 10. Are there any other Blue Jays?
No Jays.
Lindor, we already did. Garrett Crochet. Are there any other Red Sox?
No other Red Sox.
Yamamoto, we did. Acuna. Are there any other Braves in the top 25? No. So, yeah. I mean, other than the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks have the most players inside the top 25.
Correct.
That's not nothing, ladies and gentlemen. That's not nothing. That is something. There's a lot to like about this team going into 2026.
I mean, you take it out to 30. I think you just add in the Phillies because they get Christopher Sanchez at 29, but it's still just a D-back.
A reminder to not give up on a season before it even begins. That's what we got last night. Buy or sell coming up next. Hour number 2 of the program on the other side. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. Let's be honest, nobody keeps New Year's resolutions. Gym memberships don't get used and diets fail. If you lost your firearm rights because of past convictions, here's a resolution you can keep. You've thought about this for years. Make it happen in 2026. You make the decision, Restore My Civil Rights does the work. This resolution will change your life. To book a free consultation today, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
The Avett Brothers and Mike Patton present Avett Patton Performing Live at Arizona Financial Theater, May 12th. Avett Patton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Right now at Marquee in Scottsdale, buy a brand new 2025 Kia K4 for $369 a month for 72 months at 4.99% APR with just $2,000 down.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. February 7, 2026.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with a patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
Maybe you've had your eye on a Fulton home. The premium craftsmanship, thoughtfully designed floor plans, resort-style amenities, and award-winning communities across the valley. A place where every detail feels intentional. For many buyers, homeownership can feel out of reach. But now, owning a Fulton home is more attainable than ever. With special pricing, limited time incentives, and interest rate buydowns on select homes, now is the right moment to make your move. From beautifully designed interiors to the legendary quality Fulton Homes is known for, every detail is built to stand the test of time. Visit any Fulton Homes community today or go to fultonhomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2, the lunch break right here. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today here on the program. The weekend right around the corner. We've got picks to make this hour of the show. We've got the last edition of the Leftovers this week. But before all of that, it is the Friday edition of Buy or Sell. I don't know the metrics on this, but I think the Friday edition of Buy or Sell, potentially the hottest of the week.
Wow, you think so? I always think it's Monday.
It's certainly the
One
days
of
where we
those
have like a long break. Oh, that first day back, shot out of a cannon. Buy or sell. I think the Friday going into the weekend, you want to leave the people.
The Friday after, or the Monday after Christmas.
Oh, we were all gone a whole week.
I mean, those were hot.
There may not be a better edition of Buy or Sell than that one. I think today's is going to be pretty good, though. What do we got?
The Cardinals will end up with one of the NFC West coordinators if they want one.
I think I will very, very tentatively, cautiously, optimistically buy this take.
Wow.
I'm a little worried about it.
What an optimistic buy.
Because there's 3 of them.
Typically,
and
by the way,
there's 5 jobs.
at this point, you take the fee.
I know. There's 3 of them, and there's 5 jobs. So the math isn't fully in the Cardinals' favor. But I don't get the sense that any of those 3 are going to go to Pittsburgh. I don't really get the sense that any 3 of them are going to pick Cleveland. And LaFleur's name, can I tell you what's really happened here today? Adam Schefter going on Pat McAfee and name-dropping Mike LaFleur
multiple times
has really got me in a way.
I got to tell you, it really feels he doesn't do that without any information.
Right. He's not just firing.
He's not guessing.
Right. I mean, that's got some type of information behind it. Because he named Campanelli, he named Mike LaFleur, and he named Raheem Morris on the Pat McAfee show today. Man, I think LaFleur would be a home run, man.
A home
I think
run.
It would be a home run.
Yeah, him and Kubiak to me.
Trying to figure out who he could bring as his DC. Could he maybe bring Raheem Morris as the DC? Wait a second. Raheem Morris was in LA, wasn't he? Check on this. We may have just cracked the code here. I think Morris overlapped with LaFleur. So he can bring in somebody who's been a former head coach, who's really good on the defensive side of the ball, somebody he's comfortable with and familiar with. Boy, I hope that everything I'm saying here turns out to be true when you do this research.
So Raheem Morris was the DC for the Rams in 21 through 23.
When did LaFleur start?
I'm going to tell you.
I think it was 21 or it was 22 because he was with the Jets for 1 year and 21 after they took Wilson.
Mike LaFleur has been the Rams OC since 23.
Right, but he was there as
they overlapped for one season.
No, but where was he? Was he with the Jets for 2 seasons?
For 21 and 22, he was the OC in New York.
So 1 year of overlap. That's all it could take sometimes. So maybe it's a package deal. It's LaFleur is the head coach running the offense. He brings somebody with him to be the offensive coordinator in air quotes. And he has Raheem Morris be his DC. That's it. That's the new favorite for me. I'm all in. Let's go. Let's ride. Mike McDaniel, no matter what. No, give me the new index card. LaFleur, Morris, no matter what.
We should make one of those like campaign shirts.
Yes.
LaFleur, Morris,
Yes.
26.
LaFleur, Morris, 2026. Get it done.
If the Patriots lose, this would be one of the worst losses in conference championship history.
You just can't lose to a quarterback who's only made 4 starts in his career. You can't lose to a quarterback who the last time he played in an NFL game was 2023. You just can't do it.
That's a bye.
Yes, it's a bye. Just like it would have been embarrassing if anybody lost to Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
That takes us into our next one. Phillip Rivers would be the worst hire by any team to be a head coach.
No, the Jacksonville Jaguars hired Urban Meyer, so no, it wouldn't be worse than that.
No, I meant this year. Sorry.
Oh. So far, what do we got? Harbaugh to the Giants, I love. Stefanski to the Falcons, I love. Halfley to the Dolphins. I don't want to say I love, but makes sense, and I understand why they got there, and I think he's going to be a good candidate.
By the way, did you watch any of his intro press conference?
No, I did not.
It's very funny. So we'll start with Halfley. He's a defensive guy. And he's very clean cut up there in his press conference. He's, shaved. He's got hair's really done up, like almost looks fake. It's so done. And then he seems very straight-laced at the podium. Does it sound like a direct opposite to Mike McDaniel?
I know, right?
I'm watching this press conference. I'm like, oh my God, they went the exact opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, first time in a really long time they've gone outside the building to hire both a GM and a coach. And so they definitely wanted the pendulum to swing back in the other direction. So, okay, that's 3. Minter to Baltimore. I like that fit. So there's – what job am I missing? Tennessee Sala, I like that one. So, yeah, I think if it's unfair to Phillip Rivers, but I do think it would be viewed as the worst hire so far if it was made. He's apparently a serious candidate, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think it would actually be a good hire.
Yeah, I don't think it. You just don't.
I think you don't know.
I said to you today, that's a really hard sell to the fan base.
But
we're going to move on from Sean McDermott who for the last 7 years has taken us to the postseason. For the last 6 years, we've won at least one playoff game. We can't get over the playoff hump, right? Terry Pegula said in his press conference, he felt like they hit the proverbial playoff wall. And so you're going to hire a head coach that, one, has never coached at the NFL level before. And two, what is Phillip Rivers' claim to fame? Being one of the best quarterbacks to never get to the Super Bowl. That's going to be your answer to the problem? Sorry, I can't. That's a tough sales pitch.
Yeah, when you put it like that.
You can't get over the Super Bowl hump, so let's bring in a guy who's never done it as a player. Okay. Good luck.
Despite being a top 25 player again, we will hear Ketel Marte trade rumors every year.
No, I sell this. I think we're done for at least a little bit. Will they come back at some point? Yeah, I'm sure they will. But no, I think we're okay for this upcoming season. By the way, if the Bills want to hire Phillip Rivers as their offensive coordinator, do that. Hire Dable to be the head coach. Have Phillip Rivers be the offensive coordinator. That's a better setup.
Do you think, honestly, they want Dable?
I think Josh Allen might want Brian Dable.
But, like, do you remember they let go of Joe Shane, right, who was the head of scouting, who's now the Giants GM?
They didn't let him go.
He left.
He left to take a
Dable.
GM gig. Yeah, to go with Dable.
And when that happened, there was like a lot of mixed reports coming out of Buffalo on how much they thought Joe Shane meant to the organization. Like, people said he did nothing. And then other people were like, well, he was head of scouting. Which, by the way, if we were running a GM or front office, we decided I would be the head of scouting today.
Yeah, I would run the analytics department. And our mutual friend would be the GM, have the final say.
Yes, that is great.
Boy, those meetings where we're figuring out who to draft, we would be screaming at each other. Screaming at each other. Okay, sorry, you're making your Joe Shane point and you were linking this to Brian Dable?
I just, after that, like, if they didn't like Shane in the room, which it sounds like they didn't, and now they're going to hire his guy in Dable.
Right, but Dable was there and has been given a lot of the credit.
For the offensive efficiency and for Josh.
And for Josh's development. And so if you want to maximize Josh and you want to get over this playoff hump, he might be the guy. Now, I think Brian Dable is the type of coach that rubs some people the wrong way. Yeah. I think he's abrasive. I think sometimes it's hard to get along with him. And so if Josh does get along with Dable, it might work. So I do think he's a serious candidate for the job, yes.
Yeah. No, I think he's a serious candidate. It feels like a wrong step.
Well, I don't know how many coaches they could hire that are going to feel better than McDermott. Despite the flaws with McDermott, despite not making it to a Super Bowl, despite, 13 seconds, despite losing the game to Denver, despite all of it, right? Are you going to be able to do better than Sean McDermott? I'm wondering if they are going to be able to do better.
Fernando Mendoza.
The declaring for the NFL draft.
Officially declared for the draft. Mendoza is a better quarterback prospect than Cam Ward was.
No. You did this on purpose because you know how much I love Cam Ward. I mean, this was put in here directly to make me angry. But no, Cam Ward is a better prospect than Fernando Mendoza.
What do you like in Mendoza?
There's a lot. There's a lot that I like about Mendoza. I like how smart he appears, right? I don't think he's coming from a system in Indiana that's going to take him a long time to transition to the pro game. I think his processing is really good. I think his quick game stuff is going to be excellent at the NFL level. He's going to be able to read a defense quickly and decide where to go and get the ball out in a hurry. I think I like his mobility. I think the place that I worry about is, can he make those big throws? Can he make those down the field shots consistently enough? Does he have the high ceiling of being able to make those special plays? This is a tough comparison because I don't know how many quarterbacks can do this. The Caleb Williams special plays, does Mendoza have something like that in his bag of tricks? Or is he just it? And I hate to use this as a comp because it's going to be disparaging to both parties. Is he just Jared Goff? Right? Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship. But he has a ceiling as a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I think right now, if you ask somebody, Caleb Williams or Jared Goff, they would take Caleb Williams if they needed to win a football game.
Oh. They need to win one game.
They need to win one game, I think people take Caleb. Because of that special ability to be able to just...
It's close. That's an interesting conversation. And you hate Caleb.
I don't know. I don't hate Caleb Williams.
You hate Caleb as a quarterback.
No, I don't hate him as a quarterback. I think he's overrated. I think these special plays that he makes is cover for how poorly he plays the other 3.5 quarters. I think he needs to get better in those other 3.5 quarters, or else there's going to be a lot of years that end the same way this year did.
Better quarterback prospect, Jared Goff, J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, Goff was a better prospect coming out than...
Who would you rather have
Goff
next year?
Oh, of the two players right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Goff.
Yeah.
But I think Mendoza is very Goff-like.
You don't think... he's a way better runner than Goff.
No, but from a floor-ceiling conversation.
No, okay.
He's Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Like, that's, to me, the types of quarterbacks I think Fernando Mendoza is going to have as company.
That's good.
I don't think Fernando Mendoza is ever going to be in the Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow conversation. I think he'll peak in like the Drake May, Justin Herbert tier of quarterback.
Drake May's way better than Justin Herbert.
You understand the point that I'm making, separating from those top quarterbacks that I mentioned and then the next tier. I think Fernando Mendoza tops out as a bottom half tier 2 quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think Cam Ward can be a tier 1 QB. I think he can be. I don't know if he will be. I think he can be.
With his ceiling.
I think his ceiling is much higher, yes.
Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
ASU will once again sell out all their home games.
Yes, I will buy this.
Goodbye.
I mean, they don't have any super marquee opponents at home this year, right? We did this earlier in the week. All their big games are on the road. Like, does anybody notable come here? Like, Texas Tech doesn't come here. BYU doesn't come here.
All the big games.
The Texas A&M game's on the road. The Kansas game isn't here. The Territorial Cup's on the road.
Also strange, and maybe somebody could give me an answer on this.
We know a guy who probably could answer this.
Why do they only have one bye week? College football, too, is typical, correct? I'm not crazy.
Well, I haven't looked at their... I know they have the bye week coming out of the London
So you have Baylor at home. You have Hawaii at home. You have Kansas State at home. You have Colorado at home. I'm sure that one will sell out.
That one will travel. Colorado will travel well for
Oklahoma State at home. And then you play in Dallas in the first weekend.
Right. It's not really the most, robust group of opponents that are going to draw a crowd. So it's going to be up to ASU to play really well in order to sell out those.
Yeah,
those
I
games.
think it'll depend on the first three. If you go 3-0, especially if you win at A&M, you will sell out the next 3 home games.
Agreed. You start the year 3-0. I think you sell out the rest of the year. Yes. So I'll buy the take for now because I think they start. I think there's a world where they start 3-0. I really do. I think they could beat Texas A&M in College Station. There you have it. Friday edition of Buy or Sell. It was a good one. It's a really good edition of Buy or Sell. You lived up to the billing that I had beforehand. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program when we come back. The Conference Championship Sunday right around the corner. Which teams should the Cardinals be rooting for or against this Sunday? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Hey listeners, it's Vince D'Alicio with the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturday morning as we take our show on the road to Tucson's Pima Community College, where I'll be joined by a couple of our newest talented U of A Wildcat interns, and we'll be previewing some Pima Aztec men's and women's nationally ranked basketball teams with the coaches. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS, Arizona.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809-million. 809-million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
For over 50 years, they redefined rock. The spirit lives on.
Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. Celebrate 50 years of Rush. 50-something tour. December 1st and 3rd, 2026. Desert Diamond Arena. Tickets are on sale now at rush.com. Legends don't stop. They evolve. Rush.
Come ring in the new year with us at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale.
Right now, you can receive 0.9% financing for up to 60 months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-5.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda.
Superstar Car Wash has extended our best deal of the year. Log in 30% off for 12 months on a Super Protect Unlimited membership. Splurge elsewhere, save here, and treat your wealth before it's gone. Visit our website for details.
Right now at Del Taco, you can get 2 grilled chicken tacos for just $3. You hear that? That's the real sizzle of a real grill. At Del Taco, we freshly grill our marinated chicken right here in our kitchens. Not some factory far, far away. It's what makes our grilled chicken tacos a top seller for over 30 years. So come get 2 grilled chicken tacos, made to order for only $3. A real good deal we can all use right now. Only at Del Taco. Del, yeah. Price and participation may vary.
It's the grand opening of Fulton Homes' newest master plan community, Acclaim. This beautiful community features open spaces, multiple parks, and a large aquatic center. Visit FultonHomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The final 4 teams left standing in the playoffs are easy to admire for their offensive fireworks. Patriots, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks all feature explosive units. But if you're only looking at the offenses, you're missing the real story, because defense is the common thread. 3 of the 4 remaining teams rank inside the top 5 in points allowed per game. The Rams, the lone exception, still a very respectable 10th. That is not a coincidence. It's a massive factor in each team's success. Scoring in bunches helps get you here. Defense is what keeps you here. Playoff football is colder, tighter, and far less forgiving. Drives shrink, mistakes multiply, and when possessions matter most, stops become gold. These conference championship games are not just showcases of offensive brilliance, they are reminders that even in the era built around scoring, championships are still won on the defensive side of the ball. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
What goes better with a meal? Bacon. At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously. From their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips, to their all-new maple bourbon bacon, which brings out the subtle notes of maple and bourbon for a rich taste. Heartland Steakco has your bacon and USDA Midwestern beef ready to ship and delivered straight to your door. Don't wait. Order today for yourself, a friend, or anyone who loves that true Midwest taste. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Go and get your bacon from heartlandsteakco.com. That's heartlandsteakco.com, promo code BACON. Taste the Heartland difference.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
Not surprised that the Cardinals aren't in. They fired their head coach. Kyler Murray's probably on his way out. It is what they like to call Black Monday. I'm kind of surprised by the Raheem Morris one in Atlanta. It's only been how long? Year? 2 years. So maybe that one. Pete Carroll gone. I told you from the jump when they hired Pete Carroll, I didn't like the hire. I think he's past his due. Let him go after year 1. You might as well have kept the guy you had before and saved a bunch of money.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, thanks for hanging out with us today here on the show. I want to take a different approach to looking at Conference Championship Sunday, and I want to look at this through the lens of what's better for the Arizona Cardinals. Which result is better for the Cardinals in their pursuit of getting their next head coach? And I think there's way more on the line in the NFC Championship game than there is in the AFC Championship game. On the AFC side, the only person they've been I mean, I guess they've been linked to Patrick Brown, the pass game coordinator of the Patriots, but have we heard anything more than his name being on an initial list? Like, have we heard about a first interview, an in-person interview?
Nothing.
I mean, he was thrown out there as somebody that they wanted to talk to, that they asked about talking to, they may have interviewed, and it kind of ended there. Now, maybe they were looking at him more as an offensive coordinator, and they brought him in for a head coach interview to kind of start that process. On the other side, Denver, Vance Joseph is the name that you can link the most to the Arizona Cardinals. And so if Denver loses, that then frees them up to have their conversation with Vance Joseph. But you can very strongly make the case that they don't need to have a second interview with him. They know a lot about Vance Joseph. He was in their building for 3 seasons, was their defensive coordinator for 3 years. They know a lot about Vance Joseph. They're not starting from scratch in that process with Vance as they are with maybe some of these other candidates. It's the NFC side of things where it may matter more. And so I think there's 2 ways to look at this, producer Evan, and I don't actually know which side of the coin I land on. So I kind of want to talk it out. There's the argument of, do you root for a certain team to lose so that you can start talking to them, right? Is it better for the Seahawks to lose so the Cardinals can then start talking to Clint Kubiak? Is it good that the Rams lose so that they can start talking to Chris Shula and Mike LaFleur? Or is it better for the Rams to win so that other teams can't talk to LaFleur and Shula either, and they're delayed, and that might push them towards going with somebody else? Now, you still don't get to talk to them, so you still don't know how interested they are. You still don't know if they're the right fit. You still don't know who their potential coaching staffs are. You don't know if that coach and Monty can get along on the roster building side. You don't know any of that because you can't sit and talk with them. But if they win, nobody else can talk to them either. So which side of the coin is actually better for the Cardinals? I think it can go either way.
It is one of those things. For me, I lean on sitting whoever you want to be the next head coach for the Cardinals. I think that's the team you're rooting for. And I say that because I do think the Bills will be in a semi-rush to get their deal done. I do think after what happened with the Ravens, that maybe the Raiders feel like, hey, maybe we're in a tad scramble now. We got to go get our guy because the Ravens just stole Jesse Minter from us. I think there are going to be teams that are going to be in more of a rush. So I think whoever you want to be this next head coach, whether it's Kubiak, then I think you're rooting for Seattle. If it's Shula or if it's LaFleur, then I think you want to root for the Rams.
So
lastly, I'll say, if the Rams win, does feel like you have 2 options compared to if Seattle wins, it is just Kubiak still sitting there.
So the way it works is you can't talk to anybody that's playing right now, right? You can't talk to anybody that is playing this weekend. The teams that were playing on Wild Card weekend, they could have had a virtual interview, but then they couldn't meet. And so in-person interviews with assistants who are under contract with other teams can begin on January 19th, which was 4 days ago, unless those teams are still alive for the conference title games. So that rules out any of the coordinators that are coaching this weekend. Those coaches must wait until January 26th, which is Monday, when they either were eliminated from the playoffs or have a bye week before the Super Bowl. Coaches on the Super Bowl teams can take interviews up until February 1st, but then they can't talk to teams until after February 9th. So on Monday, everything opens up. For 1 week, everything opens up. It's going to be a mad dash on Monday. So does it matter who wins? Does it matter that the Rams win and you only have a week, just like everybody has a week to talk to them? And they can't sign. They can't agree to sign until their season is over. The coaches on the Super Bowl teams, they can't interview in person unless they have done a first interview virtually. So anybody that's on either of these teams that you haven't already talked to, you can't bring into your building. So there are rules against it. So on Monday, whoever wins, you got 1 week to talk to them. Whoever loses, it's free game. So what's better for the Arizona Cardinals? Because everyone's going to be able to talk to Mike LaFleur starting on Monday. But if the Rams are playing in a Super Bowl, you can only talk to him from the 26th up until the 1st. You can talk to him from Monday up until Sunday. What's better? Because Buffalo's going to be calling. Pittsburgh's going to be calling. Cleveland, Vegas is going to be calling. You're going to be calling. Do you want it to be rushed and they can't make a decision in that week? Or do you want them to be free to be able to take as much time as they want and to be able to make a decision?
I think the answer is the latter.
That you want them to be able to make a decision, or that you want them to only have a week and they can't actually decide until after the Super Bowl, and so you can maybe hope that other jobs begin to fill it?
Yeah.
Like if somebody wants Michael LaFleur and the Rams win on Sunday, they can talk to him next week. They can't hire him.
Yes.
They can't hire him until after the Super Bowl. Now, I'm sure there's some wink, wink, nudge, nudge that goes on, and they haven't, signed a contract or agreed to sign a contract, but they've agreed to sign a contract. They're not allowed to sign a deal until after the Super Bowl.
I think that gives the Cardinals an advantage.
It's going to be really
not an advantage. I think it helps them.
It's going to be really interesting to see how next week goes, because if you are somebody like, let's just say Michael LaFleur, because he's our new favorite candidate, right? And the Rams win on Sunday. You've got 1 week, you have a bye week, and then you get ready for the Super Bowl. And that week that you're getting ready for the Super Bowl, you can't talk to anybody. So that week before, I think you're going to be really deliberate in who you pick, because you still want to win a championship.
Certainly,
so you're going to be deliberate in who you pick. Are the Cardinals going to make that short list?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. And that's a worry that I would have. That's a reason why maybe you want the team of the coach that you want to lose, so that they're freed up to take as many interviews as possible, and maybe you do get that in-person interview.
It's a tight line to walk.
It's a very fine line to walk. On Monday, everybody's going to be available to talk to you. Some coaches only for 5 days, 6 days. Others are free to interview with you and sign right away. I would prefer, by the time we get to Monday, for Pittsburgh and Cleveland to have decided on their coaching searches, because that would make it to where I don't know if it really matters. If Pittsburgh decided today to hire Mike McCarthy, if Cleveland decided today to promote Jim Schwartz, and now there were 3 openings left, then I don't know if it really matters who wins and loses on Sunday. Because then I think there are enough good candidates out there for the Cardinals to land somebody that we would consider a home run. It's just right now the math isn't totally in their favor. It's close, but it's not there yet. And so you're looking for every little margin possible. If you want Mike LaFleur the way that I want Mike LaFleur, I think you're hoping the Rams lose so that he can take all the interviews and he's not under a time crunch and he doesn't, he's doing media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then,
I think you've changed my mind on it. I think now you're rooting for...
Because if all 5 jobs are open on Monday and you're Mike LaFleur or you're Clint Kubiak or you're Chris Shula and you're playing in the Super Bowl and you only have 5 days to interview, you have the 26th through the 1st, 6 days. Are you interviewing with all 5 jobs? Are you going to be very particular? Are you only taking Pittsburgh and Buffalo?
Yeah, you're probably only taking 2.
You're only taking 2, maybe a third.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fascinating to see the rush for the candidates on Monday and Tuesday, because that's when you'll know right away. Like Monday morning, we'll know who's coming in for an interview for the Cardinals.
100%.
And we'll know who's Buffalo's going to try to get from these. Like we'll know on Monday.
We're going to have an answer.
We're going to have a very clear direction of where this might be going.
Yeah.
480-864-1060 is the phone number. It's a very important phone number because you're going to need that if you want to represent Team Listener in our next segment. We've got the picks coming up on the other side. A little different this week for the picks. Just a 3-point play and a 2-point play. So we need one of you to play against us, to play against myself, producer Evan. You make a 3-point play and a 2-point play. You have to pick something from either game this weekend. You can take a total. You can take a spread, whatever you want, but you have to take something from each game on Sunday. If you tie or beat producer Evan or myself, you find yourself with a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. We go into this week with producer Evan having a 1-point lead. We need one of you to represent Team Listener. So caller number 5, since there's 5 points at stake this week, 480-864-1060. Producer Evan will get you all set up to come on the air, make your picks. Again, a 3-point play, a 2-point play, a spread, or a total. You have to pick something from each of the conference championship games. So we'll do that here on the other side. Caller number 5, 480-864-1060. We got the pick segment coming up on the other side of the break. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
And then the Tennessee Titans landed Robert Saleh reportedly as their head coach. And that was the first domino that bothered me because the Cardinals were scheduled to interview with him right after. Cardinals have to take their place in line. And it's starting to feel like the Cardinals' place in line is all the way at the back. That the Cardinals have taken that number at the deli counter. They're waiting. And they're going to have to hope when they get up that there's still a good selection to choose from, that these Rams coordinators are still, in fact, around, that Clint Kubiak is still a valuable option.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
A night you don't want to miss. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. North America Tour 2026. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th. Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte. An epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you. Your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. We'll take total care of you. First, come browse all the beautiful settings in our cases. Take your time and try on as many as you want. You'll know when you put your ring on. Your heart will skip a beat. Now, onto your center stone. We can look at different diamond shapes and sizes until we find the perfect match. Come visit us in store, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Come ring in the new year with us at Mark Mazda Scottsdale off the 101 in Indian School. Right now, you can receive a 0.9% APR for 60 full months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-5.
Don't know what to do with your trade? We'll give you a minimum of $8,000 for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs based on the actual MSRP. And if $8,000 is the minimum, think what your good trading might be worth. The name to remember, Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda, on approved credit plus $998.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series are coming to Phoenix. And it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 5th through the 8th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It's the second to last pick segment of the season. We got one more after this. Producer Evan holding a 1-point lead going into Conference Championship Sunday. It's up to you, my friend, who goes first. Now, normally in this instance, you go last so you can see what the person that is behind does, but it's totally up to you. So I'll give you the whole choice of who goes first, who goes second.
You go first.
Okay. I was kind of hoping you would go first. I know you're a 3-point play, so it does help me a little bit because you locked it in earlier. I said yesterday on the program that I was getting weird. And I'm going to embrace the weirdness. We start in the NFC Championship game with my 2-point play. Can I tell you what I originally wanted to do?
You want to take the over 46.5. You wanted to take the under 48.5. Now it's at 46.5, and you don't know what to do.
So I will tell you what I was thinking about doing. I knew, because you locked it in earlier in the week, that you have New England minus the points, right?
No, I have Seattle minus the points.
Sorry, Seattle minus the points. So what I was going to do was going to make that my 2-point play and make the other game my 3-point play and hope that we pick the same thing so that I would gain a point. Because if we had the same thing, I would have gotten the better of the point allocation. I think.
Correct.
Because you would have had, no, it would have worked out to be, we would have both gotten 5 points.
Yeah, like if you took Seattle minus 2.5 and then took New England minus 4.5 as your 3-point play. And I was like, well, I want the same thing.
And we would have been tied. So I understood that I needed to go outside the box.
Yes.
So my 2-point play. I know the last time they played, it wasn't even particularly close. But defense wins championships in the NFL. We're down a point. We got to get weird. Give me the Rams Seahawks under 46.5. Give me the under.
I need a shootout in that one.
You need a track meet. I'm leaning on the Seahawks defense to keep this game 24-17. 27-14. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't have...
I really can't.
24-21, you're okay.
24-21, I'm okay.
27-24 is the line.
27-24 is where you get a little worried. So I've got the Rams, Seahawks under 46.5, and for my 3-point play. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I gotta try to get in front here. I gotta try to build up a lead.
Do it.
Give me Patriots Broncos over 42.5. Listen, I got to do something because if I can hit both of these, I don't think you're taking either of these because you've already taken Seattle. I don't think you're taking the over. So I can get 5 points here.
Yeah.
And it's something that I don't think you're going to have. Like there's a world where that game is Seahawks lose the game. They don't cover and I can get my 2 points. And that's a huge, I'm instantly up a point going into the 3-point.
So can I be honest with you?
Sure.
So I really thought about taking the under in that game.
42.5 though.
42.5 is low.
They gave up 30 points last week to Buffalo. 24-20, I'm a winner.
I'm going to take New England minus the 4.5.
Did you think I was going to take Denver?
I did.
I'll take the over in that game. So I'll root for points in the AFC title game. I'll root for defense in the NFC championship game.
Correct. Really less than 100 for you total.
42, 46, 88, 89 points, under 90 points. I need under 90 points on championship Sunday.
Good luck.
Yeah, see, when you took Seattle early in the week.
If it flips and I get both and you get none, I'm up 6. We would tie.
Right, and that's why I'm okay with being a little
aggressive
because worst case scenario, I'm still playing for a tie.
Yeah.
And we're each eating, 30 and a half hot dogs.
Correct.
So, or
35 and a half.
35 and a half hot dogs. It would be a bad place to be, but I think it's a worthwhile gamble to still be alive on
Super Bowl Sunday.
On Big Game Sunday.
Yeah.
So, that's okay. So that's why I played the risk because I don't know. We haven't really talked about this, but if this happens where you take a full 6-point lead, I would rather it just be you make your pick and I'll take the opposite.
Yeah.
Because
can I be honest with you?
Because it's a 6-point play. I would rather you go first and then I'll just take the opposite and that's what the bet will be. It'll be on the line just with that result.
I thought that's how we would do it.
But if I win both of my picks and you don't, and I open up a 4-point lead, it's a little bit of a different story.
Then I would take the opposite of what you take.
I may make you go first and just match you and lock in victory.
No.
4 points is...
Absolutely not. That is cowardly.
That's what's on the line this Sunday.
That would be so cowardly.
That's what's on the line this Sunday. If I get the advantage...
I would be cowardly. We wouldn't do the pick segment next year. We did that.
You'd be out. I'm done. Not doing it.
I'd be hanging up the cleats in the pick segment.
Or maybe what we do is no matter what happens,
Whoever wins this week gets to pick who they want in the Super Bowl. The other person has to take the opposite.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. It's not as fun. It's fun to be a coward and have that moment.
Well, I guess you can take the over.
You can take the over if you want, but so no, I'm my 2-point play, the under in the NFC Championship game. My 3-point play, the over in the AFC Championship game. And then you have your 2-point play is Seattle minus the points.
My 2-point play is New England minus the points. My 3-point play, Seattle minus the 2.5.
The pick segment brought to you by Von Hansen's, located at Alma School just between Elliott and Warner in Chandler. Online at vonhansensmeats.net. They're known for their sausages and brats, over 100 varieties of sausages, brats, which are made fresh in the Chandler Stores Smokehouse. Your one-stop shop. Meats, beer, wine, barbecue rubs, wood chips. They carry top-of-the-line beef and pork. All of their meats come from the Midwest. They've been in Chandler for 18 years, serving the best meats in the Valley. A full-service retail, old-fashioned meat market on top of a full-service wild game processor. The best way to shop, follow them on social media or go to the website, vonhansensmeats.net. Join the email list. They send out weekly specials along with their monthly ad. Download the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can listen for your chance to win 2 tickets to the MLB Players Trust Playmakers Classic at Warehouse 215 on Wednesday, February 18th. When we come back, we wrap up this week. We tell you the plan for this weekend. A little bit of a change to the schedule this weekend for some of the live sports you'll hear on KDUS AM 1060. And then we'll get into the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to today on the show. And then we will kick it into a weekend. We'll get to it next. Lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
The final real play at the game, the interception that you just talked about thrown by Beck. I mean, that was after an Indiana timeout. The coaching level, again, Indiana is taking a timeout to give coaching points. I'm giving credit to Cignetti right now. What a job of out coaching or giving the right coaching points to his secondary, his corners. And I thought I was going to give Miami a chance to figure it out, but it was Indiana, that defense, that offense.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The other day, I couldn't find my belt, and my wife found my belt, and as she brought it to me, she said, "Where would you be without me?" And I wanted to say, exactly here without the belt. In fact, I would have the belt because I would know exactly where it was in yesterday's pants on the floor. But now, we're not allowed to leave yesterday's pants on the floor, so I need a National Treasure-style map to find my one lousy belt.
Seth Meyers, live on stage, Saturday, March 14th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets are on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein-packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Saturday, February the 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart, any style, any budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. For the one, we'll help you propose with a dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, in stock and ready to compare side by side. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
ASU women's basketball continues over on KAZG 1440. This Saturday, join the Lady Sun Devils as they hit the road to take on Cincinnati. Head coach Molly Miller and her team know they have the skills they need in order to score another Big 12 win on the road. Join Jeff Munn on the call live from the Buckeye State. It's ASU versus Cincinnati this Saturday morning. Pregame at 9:30 a.m. and tip-off at 10 a.m. over on KAZG 1440.
You just heard producer Corey say it. A little bit of a change to the schedule. Originally, the game was supposed to be at 11:30 tomorrow, but the weather that's going to slam the East Coast has forced some changing of the schedule. So 9:30 pregame tomorrow with a 10 o'clock tip for ASU women's basketball when they take on Cincinnati. And you'll be able to hear that over on KAZG 1440. So a little bit of a schedule change there. And then you got NAU men's basketball tomorrow night. That's a 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock tip right here on KDUS AM 1060 when NAU takes on Northern Colorado. Okay. This may be the whole leftovers. Our guy Brian has called in. He wants to weigh in on the coaching.
I would like to touch on something.
Before we get to Brian?
Yes.
Is he there listening?
Yeah, Brian.
All right, so you want to give Brian a hard time about something?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Before we get to Brian, go ahead. Give
And
him a hard
Brian's
time.
on now.
Oh, so Brian can have some interaction with us. Okay.
Brian's here.
Okay.
Yep.
Brian, you hung up on me.
Oh, no.
And for all the talk I've gotten for the last year in the YouTube chat, now Brian hangs up on
It's
me.
over. The joke is
And
dead.
I just wanted to put that out in the public so everybody knows.
Brian, what's going on, Brian?
It was my bad. I hit dial and then started my car. Well, as the show's Chicagoland expert, I felt like I needed to chime in because I'm sure Michael Bidwell is listening right now. If there's one thing I know, it's bad offensive football. I'll see your Trace McSorley and raise you a Cade McNown. I'll see your Marvin Harrison and raise you a David Terrell.
Trace McSorley won the Big Ten. Thank you, Brian.
As a pro, though. And I also know bad coaching, which leads me to the 12-1 betting favorite, Matt Nagy. Now, when he showed up in Chicago, he looked the part, sounded the part, and had the pedigree. Trubisky was brand new. Our defense was stout. He had all these cute little plays. He called one of them the Santa sleigh. And he's standing over there on the sidelines with this big, oversized, color-coded play sheet that looked like a Denny's menu. And everything went great until the double doink against Evans Eagles, and then it crashed and burned. Next year, all the defenses adjusted. Trubisky regressed, and he went downhill from there, ultimately relinquishing his play calling duties because he never was able to adjust. So I would just ask Mr. Bidwell, when you're interviewing Matt Nagy, he might look like the guy, but don't go down Matt Nagy road, because if you do, I might have to move.
Yeah,
thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate it, Brian. Have a good weekend. And I think, Matt Nagy and Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris and Vance Joseph, I think they all just fall into this bucket of, obviously they were all ex-head coaches, but they just fall into this bucket of the way it ended for them in their previous spots just leaves so much to be desired, right? Like, Arthur Smith was supposed to be an offensive guy. He goes to Atlanta, and they're lost. Like, they're lost as a team with him leading the charge. Vance Joseph, the 2 years that he was the head coach in Denver, they didn't have a quarterback. They couldn't figure out how to win. Doesn't that sound like exactly the situation he would be walking into? Matt Nagy, the same situation in Chicago. Yeah, he's great when he's working with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, but when things get tough, do you have the ability to adjust? And the reason why I was interested in Robert Saleh, the reason why Saleh stood out to me as a coach, is he went to a big market and failed, but he went to a market where they're not known for stability, and they failed. And then he went back and he worked in Green Bay for a little bit. He was a special advisor. Then he went back to San Francisco where he's the defensive coordinator. He's been surrounded by some really smart coaches. And I'm surprised he took the Tennessee job because there's a lot of risk associated with that. But I was really comfortable giving somebody from the NFC West in Robert Saleh a second chance to be in a place where he's comfortable, a division that he's comfortable, a division that he knows really well, and a chance to learn from the mistakes of working for the New York Jets. But when it comes to Matt Nagy, it completely fell apart, and I think he had a hand in it. For Saleh in New York, it never got off to a good start. It never started well. And so that's my reasoning for not liking, this tier of retread coaches. And again, Saleh is a retread coach, but I just think there was something different about him coming from this division and it being a lower level media market compared to where he was in New York. And I think it's easier for me to wrap my mind around Robert Saleh learning from his failures as a brand new head coach in New York than it is for some of these other guys who are potentially going to be candidates. Like, I don't want any of them to be the head coach.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Like, Matt Nagy, no thank you. Arthur Smith, no thank you. Like, no, thank you. Like,
I'm just not interested.
Offensive-minded guys in Nagy and Arthur Smith who completely lost their way on that side of the ball is just not something I'm interested in entertaining when I think that's the area of focus that is needed so strongly for the Cardinals. Like, they failed as head coaches because their offenses went completely sideways.
Yeah.
Is that going to change a second go-around in one of the worst quarterback situations you're going to find in the sport?
No.
So I'm good. With Saleh, at least he can bring in somebody creative to be a play caller who maybe hasn't really been soured by another experience, and they can be creative. I don't know if Matt Nagy and Arthur Smith can be creative enough. Definitely not Arthur Smith. Definitely.
Arthur Smith, I think that's over.
I
can't imagine he'll get a job.
I hope he's not a really serious candidate for this gig. I hope he's not a serious candidate to be the offensive coordinator.
I don't think he is.
I mean, I think he got more out of the Pittsburgh offense than you expected, but it wasn't revolutionary.
No.
It didn't wow you. I know they had Aaron Rodgers playing quarterback, but.
Which is arguably an argument against him.
Right, but is this situation quarterback-wise going to be better?
Yeah, and you know how it works with Arthur Smith. You get Johnny with him.
Right, he comes along. He comes along.
So you would have another tight end to take the ball away from Trey McBride.
Yeah, and I know Brian's worried, and I know there's a lot of worry because Brian also mentioned on YouTube before he called in that with Minter going to the Baltimore Ravens, that where the deli counter is running out of meats, that the options are disappearing and we're ninth in line. I don't agree that Minter going yesterday is as bad as his comment made it out to be. I actually think it's a positive. To tie this back into what we said in the open of the program, like I think it's a positive that Minter went because I still think the honey roasted turkey, I think the buffalo chicken, I think there's still some premium meats still there at the top of the deli counter for the Arizona Cardinals. Maybe when our number gets called, it won't be the case. But right now, I'm standing in line. I'm watching everybody go in front of me, and I'm feeling. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this.
And I'm still.
Maybe it's going to be okay.
I'm fifth in line, and I see 4 good options.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
I see 4 good options. So can one of these other openings close before we get to Monday, or maybe one of these openings not look at the 4 guys I'm looking at?
Exactly. Maybe they're up there for cheese. We're up there for meat.
Right. We're up there for the meats. They can go for the Swiss, the provolone. I'm good. I'm looking for the buffalo chicken. I'm looking for the honey roasted ham, the turkey. That's what I'm looking for. Corned beef.
Nice.
Love good corned beef.
Corned beef's good.
Corned beef's very good. Corned beef sandwich. Oh, delicious. Reuben. Nothing better.
A good Reuben.
A good Reuben. Nothing better than a good Reuben. It may be the number 1 sandwich. I think we did a sandwich list.
We certainly did not do a sandwich list.
We didn't do a sandwich list?
No.
No, we had to have done a sandwich list.
We did not.
I remember doing a sandwich list.
I don't think you did that with me.
Maybe you weren't here for that. I have the memory of a goldfish, though. I also don't.
I'm telling you, we didn't do a sandwich list.
Reuben top 5, no doubt about it.
Reuben certainly in the top 5. I got real specific, but there is a local place to my house that does a sandwich they call a turkey abruzzi.
Here in Arizona?
No.
So your house in the East Coast, okay.
Yeah, that does a turkey abruzzi that knock your socks off. I don't even know. I've never even seen an abruzzi outside of this place, but it is awesome.
Yeah, Reuben's a good sandwich.
Cheesesteak up there.
What else do you have in the leftovers?
Sorry.
Yeah, we're doing a list on a Friday.
Yeah. Bleacher Report listed their Major League Baseball power rankings.
The Dodgers are number 1.
Yes. It's kind of
breaking news. Breaking news.
This is, with all the additions. We can go through the top 5. Obviously, Dodgers 1.
Can I try to guess?
Yeah. The 2 is the surprise to me.
They have the second best team. Do you think this is a surprise?
I think this is a surprise.
National League or American League?
I will tell you all teams in the top 3, that's including the Dodgers, are National League.
They have the Brewers number 2.
No.
Really? They have the Braves number 2.
No.
Really? They have the Phillies number 2.
No.
Really? They have the Mets number 2?
No, Mets number 3.
There's a National League team
who made a splash this offseason.
Alex Bregman's not a splash, but it can be the Cubs if it wants to.
It is.
I don't think they have enough pitching.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't believe they're 2. So it's Dodgers 1, Cubs 2, Mets 3.
I'm sorry. I know I'm biased,
The Cubs are not a better team than the New York Mets after the week the Mets just had.
I agree.
The Mets are
key additions.
The Mets are the best team not named the Dodgers in the National League.
Key additions for the Mets: Freddie Peralta, Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien, Jorge Polanco, Luis Robert, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Luis Garcia. I'm sorry. Here are the Cubs: Alex Bregman,
Bo Bichette's better.
Edward Cabrera.
As a starter, I'll take Freddie Peralta.
Phil Maton.
I'll take Luke Weaver and Devin Williams.
Hunter Harvey.
I mean, yeah, just comparing their off seasons, the Mets are better.
Yeah. Long story short, by the way, D-backs at 24 on this list.
Well, that's a little unfair.
It's a little unfair.
That's a little unfair.
I agree.
It should be higher than that.
24.
That's ridiculous. Enjoy the football this weekend, Jim Rome. He's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. See you.